when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi appointed a committee to decide new education policy. The committee was headed by Prime Minister E.V. Narasimha and his secretary. They were discussing why should we have a committee to decide a new education policy. Our students are studying here and they are going to most developed countries, and those developed countries are not willing to allow them to come back to India. They were wanting to retain them there. So what kind of new policy you would like to have? But then the Prime Minister said, let's have a report, and if you come to the conclusion that the report is not good, not acceptable, we can just put it aside. And that report said, we would like to educate all the children in India. And the second point which was made was more important than this suggestion, and that second point was, we would not like to educate only children, but we would like to educate all the citizens of India. I think by attending this conference, some of us who are sitting here, are quite aged, and we are getting educated here also in this conference. We are not being able to educate all our children. We are trying to educate them, and that is why the government schools have started, and the private schools, private colleges and private universities are also started in India. But even these big numbers are not capable of providing the facilities to educate all children, leave aside all citizens in India. But I have no doubt in my mind that as time passes and science develops, and as we all take the responsibility of helping ourselves and helping each other in our country, it may be possible. We have launched education satellite very recently. The scientists who are sitting here and who have been advising the people and the government in India, one education satellite is not enough. Many education satellites can be launched, and though we have large number of universities in India, those large number of universities are not in a position to educate all the children, all the citizens. But if we have large number of education satellites in the outer space, from there as we watch the movies on TV, we would be able to educate the students and educate the citizens also through that method. And those lectures will be prepared by the best in the world, best in the country, and they would be available to be repeated at many times. That is one thing. But the Prakhar family has been trying to educate not only children, but educated persons like me also. And I think you will join me in congratulating them for the good work they are doing in this field. I had the opportunity of attending a meeting like this, organized in Pune, for giving award to the best presiding officer. And I think that time you gave the award to the speaker from Karnataka, I suppose. I had the opportunity of discussing with the honorable speaker of one of our states, Kerala, and I am very impressed by the information which I received from him in the short discussion which I had with him today. And he told me that we have made our legislature paperless and we are doing our business by using the electronic methods. The second thing he told me was they have appointed subject committees. It is not possible for the existing kinds of committees which are working in different legislatures and with the parliament also to discuss all the issues which should be discussed by the legislators. And that is why in 1990, we had decided to have the departmentally related standing committees in the parliament. And the same method is probably adopted in Kerala also. I would like to congratulate him also for this good and new thing which he has done. Let me tell you that Kerala is one of the states in our country which has been doing very well. And the people in Kerala, the government, to whichever party they may belong, and the leaders, they must be congratulated. Now we try to find out the performance of the governments in different states. And let me tell you, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab like states have been doing very well in Please convey this appreciation of the people, especially the youngsters who have come from all parts of our country, to the leaders and to the legislators and to our brothers and sisters in Kerala for the good work we have been doing. Honorable Speaker, while speaking, he said people were asking him as to how you manage the House. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, and all our friends here, that this is the kind of question which is generally asked to all the speakers who have been doing the job in the parliament and in the state legislatures. And this is the kind of question which was asked to me also. Exactly in these words, kaise manage karte? And then I told my friends that I don't manage the House, I don't control the House, don't manage the House. I manage myself, I control myself, and House gets controlled. You know, I have come here because in my political life I have been presiding officers for nearly 10 years. assembly and the parliament. 6-year parliament and nearly 3.5 years in the assembly also. Deputy Speaker and the Speaker. Karan family comes from my area and they have been my friends from the beginning. I was generally now because I am like a retired politician, not retired government servant, but retired politician. But because of my friends, and because this is a program which is organized to give the award to the best of the speakers in the country. It is not possible for us to give the award to best of the legislature. But in the parliament, when I was the speaker, people said that हम तो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, कोई recognition नहीं मिलता है हमको. And then we decided to give the award to best of the parliament, best of the legislators in the parliament. And let me tell you, बोले कैसे करेंगे तो बोले कमेटी बनाएंगे, वो कमेटी डिसाइड करेंगे और हम पार्लियामेंट दे देंगे. अब यहाँ पर हम पद्मा अवार्ड भी दे रहे हैं, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कितने दोगे पद्मा अवार्ड? 100 से ज्यादा देना ठीक नहीं है. और इसीलिए हमने होम मिनिस्ट्री से एक कमेटी अपॉइंट की और वो पद्मा अवार्ड वो कमेटी देने के लिए जैसे बोलती है, उसी प्रकार से उस नंबर के अंदर पार्लियामेंट आज भी दे रही है. हमारे जमाने से चल रहा है, आज भी चल रहा है, मेरे से पहले जमाने में चल, मैं होम मिनिस्टर होने के पहले से हुआ था, वो अभी चल रहा है. उसी प्रकार से पार्लियामेंट में भी हमने क्या किया कि एक कमेटी अपॉइंट की और कमेटी अपॉइंट करके हमने बोला कि कमेटी जो बोलेगी, जिसका नाम देगी, उसका नाम स्पीकर रहेगा, चेयरमैन लोग के, मगर कमेटी जो डिसाइड करेगी उसको दे देंगे. और पहला अवार्ड जब दिया गया, मैं आपके मालूमात के लिए बोलता हूँ, यंगस्टर्स में से आगे चलकर कोई भी स्पीकर भी बनेगा, अच्छे लेजिस्लेटर भी बनेंगे. तो पहला अवार्ड देने के समय चर्चा शुरू हो गई, किसको देंगे अवार्ड? हम बोले कमेटी जो बोले उसको दे देंगे. और 2 नाम सामने आए. एक नाम इंद्रजीत गुप्ता का था और दूसरा नाम मिस्टर वाजपेयी का था. हाउस ने then we decided that the first prize will be given to Mr. Indrajit Gupta and first prize was given to him. And next year, when I was there, the committee gave the name of Mr. Vajpayee and the second best parliamentarians award was given to them. And the members of ruling party, I belonged to the ruling party that time. they said, भाई हमारे लोगों को क्यों नहीं देते? हमने कहा तुम्हारे लोगों को भी देंगे, मगर वो 3C की बात यहाँ पर हो गई. वो उसके अंदर जो बैठेगा उसको हम दे देंगे. बोले ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. तो यहाँ पर एक सजेशन आया था कि आप जो अवार्ड दे दीजिए. अब इसके लिए हमने तो पहले से ही शुरू किया है अवार्ड देना. अब केरला के चीफ मिनिस्टर, आप केरला के स्पीकर साहब, आपने हाउस में जाके उनके बेस्ट आप पार्लियामेंटेरियन को अवार्ड दिए तो हम बहुत खुश हो जाएंगे. मगर उनकी पार्टी ने और उनके सब लोगों ने मिलकर के तय करना वो करेंगे ऐसा मुझे लगता है. इस हाउस में इस जगह पर ये नौजवान लोग आए हैं. फ्यूचर बिलोंग्स टू देम. हम लोग तो वी आर बिकमिंग पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ द पास्ट, बट द फ्यूचर बिलोंग्स टू द यंगस्टर्स. And they should know as to how the governance should be done. What kind of constitution we should have, and in what manner the policies which are made by the legislators are implemented. These are the things which have to be discussed and which have to be understood by the youngsters. If from the beginning they are doing it, it is possible. Our constitution is one of the best constitutions in the world. There is no doubt about it. But let me tell you, even our body has something which has to be discarded, and every day we discard it. The blood is there which is circulating, and something is there which is discarded every day. In the same manner, our constitution also requires certain things. Mrs. Indira Gandhi tried to do it. There were two things which were introduced in the preamble of the Constitution. One was socialism and the second was secularism. People are criticizing those things. Everybody is not criticizing. But we politicians criticize for reasons or no reason sometimes. Now this can be done by A party or B party or C party. But it is there. And the second thing Mrs. Indira Gandhi did was introducing a chapter on duties of the fundamental duties of the citizen. I am not going to accept this thing. I am going to speak for a little more time. The chapter on duties speaks about protecting the environment, following the Constitution, adopting a positive attitude and not negative attitude, and things like that. But I am going to speak from my own experience, not from Constitution only. We were invited, the parliamentarians of India were invited by China, by the Chinese parliament. I was speaker, I was asked to lead. Mr. Bajpayee was there, Mr. Gujral was there, and the next time when who became the speaker, he was also there. And we had very good discussions with the Prime Minister. Liping was Prime Minister. It was very, very good discussions. And for nearly 2 hours we were discussing. They were also very keen because a person like Bajpayee, who is more known world over as a very important member of the parliament, and Mr. Gujral also was there. They knew him. And we were very happy to talk to the members of the Indian delegation. But one of the members said, Mr. Prime Minister, they say that you are not protecting the fundamental rights of Chinese people. And he became little irritated. And he said, well, my friend, let me tell you, in our Constitution, we have given fundamental right to what? Fundamental right to education, fundamental right to medicine, fundamental right to shelter. We have not given fundamental right to speak as you have done in your Constitution, and not given these rights to your own citizens. Do you think that it is enough to give fundamental right to speak? Fundamental right to speak is right to express is most important, and it should be given. Only then you can get information relating to many things from many people in a more correct manner. But if you don't give fundamental right to work, fundamental right to food, fundamental right to education, fundamental right to shelter, would you say that we have not given fundamental right to them and you have given fundamental right? And he was a little unhappy. Mr. Bajpai outside, we came outside and Mr. Bajpai, अरे क्यों भाई, क्यों बोला ऐसा तुम मिला मुझे? वो कितने अच्छी बात कर रहे थे, वो ये झगड़े की बात क्यों कर रहे थे? तुम्हारे पास उत्तर था क्या बोलने के लिए कि इन्होंने जो पूछा वो गलत था बोलते? फंडामेंटल राइट्स इस प्रकार के हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में नहीं दिए गए और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाते समय इसकी बहुत चर्चा हुई है और उस वक्त कहा कि हम आगे चलकर जब हमारी आर्थिक परिस्थिति थोड़ी सुधर जाएगी तब हम इसका भी विचार करेंगे। और आज मैं आपके लिए कहता हूं कि फंडामेंटल राइट टू एजुकेशन तो दिया नहीं गया, मगर डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स के अंदर जो राइट टू एजुकेशन है सबको देने का, उसके लिए वाजपेयी जी के जमाने के अंदर राइट टू एजुकेशन सबके लिए होना चाहिए, एक कानून बना है। हमारे कुछ साथीदार बोलने लगे इतने पैसे हैं क्या इनके पास देने के? हमने बोला पैसे तो नहीं है, ये बात सही है, मगर ये बात अच्छी है वो कर रहे हैं दूसरे देश, तो हम क्यों नहीं करेंगे? और फिर कांग्रेस ने भी उसको मदद की, वो समाधान है। हमारे कांग्रेस के लोग बोल रहे थे कि ये बात गलत लगती है, इतने पैसे नहीं है तो क्या के लिए प्रोटेस्ट है, मगर कुछ लोग बोल रहे थे कि कोने दो शुरू, फिर बाद में हम करेंगे। Now let me tell you, it is not possible for any government of any party to satisfy all the demands of the citizens of that country. Even they are not in a position to satisfy the demands of the richest people in the country also. It is not possible for anybody. For political reasons, they were criticizing us, we were criticizing them. When I was speaker, let me tell you, for 25 days, the parliament was not allowed to work when the budget was to be passed. And Acharya Tulsi was there. I think he met Mr. Prime Minister, met Mr. Bajpai, and he said, "Bhai, ये क्या चल रहा है? बजट नहीं पास करने का है क्या? बजट नहीं पास किए तो पैसा भी नहीं ले सकते, वो कैसे चल रहा है?" वो बोले मैं समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, हमारे नौजवान लोगों को जरा ज्यादा समझाना पड़ेगा। And then they told their friends कि देखो 50-25 दिन तक आपका बजट पास नहीं हो सका है, अगर तुम इसको चालू रखे, 2-4 दिन में बच गए हैं, तो वो स्पीकर जो है आपको वो हाउस से बाहर निकाल देगा और बजट पास कर देगा और लोग बोलेंगे कि देखो बजट को भी नहीं पास होने दिया, बोलेंगे तो क्या करना चाहिए? तो जाके बोलो स्पीकर को कि क्या करना चाहिए। देखो आप बैठो, मैं पास करना चाहिए। वो बोलने के बाद वो सब अपोजिशन में बैठे हुए लोग थे, वो आए सब वहां पर और मुझे बोले कि कैसे स्पीकर हो तो बजट में पास नहीं करते, हमको बाहर में नहीं निकालते। तो मैंने उनको बोला कि भाई तुमको बाहर कैसे निकाले, तुम हमारे बराबर के लोग हैं, मगर बजट मैं पास करवा के दूंगा। तो बोले कैसे करवा के दोगे? I told them that I will not explain to you as to how I will get the budget passed, but I will see that the budget is passed. If budget is not passed, at that time Mr. Clinton was in power in America and they had not passed his budget, and for 3 months the salaries of the government servants were not given. And I will not allow it to happen here also. And that's it. But I am not going to explain to you. लेकिन हमको मालूम है तुम क्या करोगे, हमको बाहर निकाल के फेंक दोगे और बजट पास कर दोगे, मगर हम ये तुमको नहीं करने देंगे। तुम्हें बोला क्या करोगे तुम? हम अब तुम्हारा बजट हम पास कर देंगे। मैंने बोला ठीक है, अब इससे ज्यादा मुझे कुछ चाहिए नहीं, कुछ किए बगैर बजट पास करने के बाद। पार्लियामेंट में बैठने वाले लोग गड़बड़ करते हैं, मगर ऐसी चीज जब उनके ध्यान में लाई जाती है तो वो मदद भी करते हैं, और ये बात नहीं। दूसरी बात जो है, आजकल जो है फैशन बन गई है कि पार्लियामेंटेरियन को, पॉलिटिशियंस को, सरकारी नौकरों को गालियां दे दो और बोलो कि ये सब गलत कर रहे हैं, उनकी वजह से गलत हो रहा है। But I would like to tell you that all the good things which are happening in our country are happening not only because there are some good politicians or good administrators, but there are majority of the good people in our country. And at the same time, please allow me to say, and don't think that I am trying to criticize any party. It happens to everybody. All the bad things which are happening in our country are not only happening because of the politicians and the government servants, but all of us in the society also. And here the question of duty comes. Now, if we don't realize that duty is important, we are all the time talking about fundamental rights, we are not talking about duties. And the duty is not to be done only by politicians and the government servants, but duty has to be done by all of us as citizens of this country. Most of the constitutions of the world, they provide fundamental rights and duties also. Now let me tell you, this is provided by the countries which have adopted the communist philosophy. But not only communist philosophy, it is adopted by those countries also which have adopted socialist philosophy. Not only socialist philosophy, but some capitalism, policy of capitalism also. And for your information, I would like to tell you that the constitution of Japan, which is not a communist or socialist country, but which believes in producing things and then distributing things. Now, in that constitution, if other countries have given these rights and duties in different chapters, in some countries in one chapter, but different articles this is given. But the Japanese constitution tells you that the rights and duties in one article only. And the exact wording of that article is the constitution, in that constitution, the citizens shall have right and duty to work. Citizens shall have right and duty to work. And somebody asked me, now how does it support the citizens? Now I told them, they support in this fashion. If a young bright student completes his education, gets master's degree, not master's degree, but he becomes a PhD, and then he says, make me a professor. It is not possible for the citizens in our country to give these jobs in the government services. Can anybody realize that our country, which had only 40 crores of people living when we became independent, today it has 135 crores of people. Some people are saying 130. but they are 135 crores of the people. Is it possible to give jobs to these people? We shall have to support ourselves, stand on our own legs. Education is not getting the government jobs alone, but getting the capacity to depend on ourselves and cooperate with each other and support the country as a whole. If you really want to say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, you can do it by cooperating with each other and supporting with each other. Government servants are also criticized like anything. But there are different kinds of government servants. You must be knowing that the President of India, Kalam Sahab, now he was asked to produce SLV, satellite launch vehicle. And the satellite launch vehicle was launched. First satellite launch vehicle was launched and it fell into Bay of Bengal. He went to Mr. Dhawan, who was the chairman of that, and he said, ये गिर गया है, ये मेरा resignation ले लो और मुझे जाने दीजिए. And Mr. Dhawan was trying to convince him, you are not the only person who was working over there. There were others also. Do you expect all of you to resign and go out? भाग जाना चाहते हो आप? इधर वो मुझे मालूम नहीं है. मैं था वहाँ पे, मैं नहीं रहना चाहता है, resignation है, मैं लेके जाऊँ. अब बहुत उन्होंने कोशिश की. And Mr. Dhawan said, well, why should you decide? I am the head of this organization and I will resign it. And then the same message, I was there, the same message was given to Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi said, you tell those wise men, why should they decide? I should decide because I am the Prime Minister. When we could not reach Andaman, we did not criticize them. And the government and the people of India also realized that it is a difficult job and it has to be appreciated rather than criticized. The second time the SLV was paid and the third time SLV was launched. I was there, Mr. Gandhi was there, and Mr. Ramarao was also there. He was the chairman, he was the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh that time. And when it was launched, when it went out, Ramarao came to Mr. Dhawan and he got hold of him and started congratulating him. And Mr. Dhawan said, Ramarao ji, अभी एक आधे घंटे के बाद congratulations को उसको एक पूरी चक्कर तो लगाने दो ये फंसी. Otherwise, please don't do it. And he did it. Now, why I am suggesting this thing, that there are good people like this also, and like ourselves, we may have some defects also, that has to be understood. And last example I am giving and I am concluding my speech, this is from my own experience. I have been in politics for a pretty long time, 50 years continuously, local level, state level, and national level, 30 years. These things are there. I was not comfortable with it. I said, I asked him, who told you that he is not well? He said, somebody is there, some reporter, and he told me that he is not there. I said, no, we don't depend on reporters' advice. We have to receive it from the government. That is the collector of the district or the cabinet decision has to come. Only then we do it. You go and you find out. He went outside and he came again and he said, no, this has happened. I said, who told you? The editor of that report, that newspaper told me. I said, why editor of that report? Why did not you ask the director of that hospital how he is? And then I asked the Secretary General to go and speak to the director and inform him. And he went out. And then they started saying, oh, you people, you are behaving like politicians. वो जयप्रकाश नारायण के जैसा आदमी मर गया, उसके लिए भी तुम हाउस एडमिट नहीं कर रहे हो। मैंने कहा भाई जयप्रकाश नारायण नहीं है बोल के क्यों गड़बड़ के बोल रहे हो? वो ज्यादा दिन जिएंगे क्यों नहीं समझ रहे हो? And they started criticizing the presiding officer. And the gentleman, the Secretary General went and spoke, and the director told him that he is well and we need not adjourn the House. Now the same information was given in Parliament and the House was adjourned. Poor Prime Minister, he was told he is not there. He thought that the information must have been received, and so the House was adjourned. And later on, he came and did it. I would like to tell my young friends especially that please do not depend on rumors, do not take decisions in such matters and in matters without getting full information. Only that will happen. Now all that has been said to you by other speakers was very, 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 very relevant. I would like to congratulate them, appreciate them, and if there are any records made, please send these records to all the colleges and universities from which the students have come and ask them to show those records, excepting my speeches record, because my speeches record is my experience in politics, but others have done very well. I thank you very much for listening.
Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
You are listening to Tarang Devotional Online Radio.